realize that the person I married was actually going to be my biggest nightmare. I really thought that that man was my Prince Charming. So when I first met my husband, I thought that he was my Prince Charming. I thought that he was my knight in shining armor, and he portrayed himself to be this amazing, upright, righteous Christian man. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that when I changed her, she was red and very sensitive. And immediately, my first thought was, did someone touch her? Oh God. I didn't realize.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amomi, aka Petite Diva, and this video is all about a popular TikTok trophy wife, content creator, influencer, and the scandal that her husband is involved in, and also Shera, as the sprinkle lady, involvement in the scandal. For those who don't know this trophy wife content creator, her name is Isis, and I believe she was a single mother of 2. She had 2 boys when she met her husband. Her husband is someone richer and older, and that's what kind of brought about her content on how to be a trophy wife, how life as a trophy wife is, how to get a husband that will be a provider, and so that you can be a trophy wife. She's said to be a Christian and supposed to be like the Christian version of Shera. Even though some of her ideologies, she said, were influenced by Shera. Now, some days ago, she came on YouTube and talked about how her husband has been touching 2 little girls. So she has 2 other, I believe she has 3 girls. If you watch her video, she said something about she was pregnant, that's why she could not be on YouTube, and she thought that when she comes back she would just share that she has given birth and everything, but now she's sharing a story that was just heartbreaking. Now, in that video, she first talked about the fact that a few months after she married her husband, she noticed some things that she thought she could get past it. And that thing that she thought she could get over or she could move past it was him raping her 4 times a few months after they got married. And she moved past it because I believe that she was married to him for like 4 years. They have 3 girls, like I said. The 2 girls that were involved in the SA were the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old. She found out that her 4-year-old has been touched when she was changing her, and she saw that she was red. She now asked her that who has been touching her, and the girl said it was her father. Now, after she saw that, she told her daughter not to tell her father that she has told her, and she now looked for a way to get out of the house. And when she got out of the house, she went to the hospital to check. She was actually escorted to the hospital that eventually checked by a police officer, and they found that not only the 4-year-old was being touched, but the 2-year-old was touched. So that video is about 15 minutes long. I will leave the link to the video so that you can check it out and then get more information about this whole very disturbing situation. Anyway, a lot of people had things to say about it. Let's check out what they had to say, and then I'll come back to share how Shera is involved in this whole scandal.
Not me waking up this morning and seeing the new trophy wife in that tea. Hold on, like let me just say and reiterate this for the people in the back, because it's a lot. Is this new generation? We careless, and we don't really know. At the end of the day, if you marrying a money man, if you're marrying someone, if you are bringing a man into your children's life, please, please, please always be, and maybe it's because I'm a Scorpio, but always be on guard and always keep something in your mind that it can possibly or might happen, because people are surprising. Okay, people, you don't put things past people. Okay, especially young women with children. Okay, the kind of armor you need to have up for yourself and your children needs to be times 10. I don't know why I have to come on here and say that, but I really need this to reach people. Protect our babies, okay? A man isn't going to tell you, I'm attracted to little kids, okay? A lot of men are out here attracted to little kids and they don't speak on it, but they will act on it, okay? Let's start there. Don't trust nobody around your children.
The trophy wife story is a constant reminder that the people closest to children will use that closeness to manipulate and take advantage of those children in ways that you probably could never have imagined. The true reality of all of this is there are some real sick people in this world. As far as I'm concerned, I would never, even prior to having a child, even consider taking advantage of a child, because their innocence is something that's so precious. And I also understand that what happens to them right now impacts them in ways they'll never imagine. But for those sick individuals like that husband that decided to get super close to those little girls and then take advantage of them in the worst way, potentially scarring them for a life, potentially negatively impacting the way that they show up in romantic relationships with men, women, anybody else, potentially even impacting how they have relationships with men in general that aren't even romantic, and potentially harming their possibilities of being someone that they can trust, the people that get close to them. The saddest part about this is that that lady knew that she had to come up with some entire plan to get those kids out of there, because she trusted her first mind that it wasn't just one of them probably. The second thing is, I am so glad that she actually believed the little girl. Never saying that she wasn't going to, but we all know that there are those stories. This exact thing happens. This man swarms in and he's like the save the day type of husband, gives them everything they could imagine, gives them a life that the mother never saw them having, and then he swarms in and takes advantage of the children. The children come clean, and the mama is like, what if? I don't care nothing about that. You got to be making that up, because they're so caught up in the fairy tale that they're living. I'm so grateful that she didn't get caught up in that, and that she did everything in her power to protect her children. I hope that this encourages and inspires each of you to do the same thing, because the truth of the matter is, it don't even have to be the man that comes to save you or the woman that comes to save you. It could be the man that you could have been in love with forever. Now, I'm not saying just walk around thinking that these people taking advantage of your children, but you have to be vigilant in how you choose to show up in your child's life, and your awareness of what's normal, what's not normal. And I'm grateful for the fact that in a simple change, she realized, a simple diaper change or whatever she was changing, something off. Let me go get this fixed. Just please don't fall into the trap of thinking because this man pay your bills and afford you a lifestyle that you can negate the safety and happiness and peace of your children.
I'm angry. What did I just watch on TikTok right now of a trophy wife or something, a woman talking about her husband sexually abusing a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old daughter? How did I just watch something like that? I wish I didn't even see that video of her talking. Please, what demon is controlling this world now? What demon? I can't. And yet, parents, please, I even want to cry watching her. Parents, that shift, that outing is not worth it for you to just be dropping your kids with anybody. People have things they're struggling with. You don't know people. This is even their father. Like, what?
So there's this girl named Isis on social media, and she would always preach to women on them getting a high value man, aka rich, because she never really talked about the character of the man. It was always about, get you a man that can do this for you, get you a man like this, and this is how you meet a rich man, this is how you become a trophy wife, blah blah blah. She wasn't really preaching anything of substance or spreading anything of substance to women. She was just basically telling women how to find someone to basically take care of them while they do much of nothing. But anyways, this woman Isis talks about how, you know, she had a child at 17, and, you know, she had a couple kids and single mom, and she wanted a family. But when I listened to her story, it sounded like she didn't really care to have a family. It just said she cared to have a sponsor, a guy that was rich to help her with her kids. That's what it sounded like to me. But anyways, she ends up meeting this guy. She meets this guy on an online dating site. She marries him in less than a year, some rich man. There was a 20-year age gap. Red flag to me. And then, long story short, I hate to say it, God bless her and her children, but the guy she married, who she really didn't know, who she chose based off of his finances, from what it sounded like, ended up doing some very, very evil things to her and her children. And I can't say those things, but just know it dealt with force, and it dealt with pedophilia. And it made me sad, but at the same time, it made me realize women like her who go for men strictly based off of finances, unfortunately, these type of things happen because you're not really paying attention to his character. You're just paying attention to the life he can provide for you, and you're not bringing God into it. It's more about worldly things, and unfortunately, this is what happens sometimes. I'm not saying this deserved to happen to her, but I'm just saying, when you focus so much on worldly things, unfortunately, you don't see red flags because you're so fixated on the glitter and the glam of things. And I think this is what happened to this young lady. And I pray that she gets the help that she needs, and she realizes that, you know, you need more from a man than just his finances. You need to make sure he's a good guy.
So there is a video circulating the internet about the trophy wife saying that her husband, who she married, and that this great provider, was essaying her very two young daughters that she shares with him. And people are blaming the mother. And yes, she made some mistakes. Yes, she ignored some red flags. But the real villain in this story is that man. So let's not take away from that. Let's send prayers to those children. We should be uplifting this woman. We should be commending her for moving in an expeditiously fast fashion to get her kids out of there. Again, it is not her fault that that man chose to do that to his own children. Not stepchildren, his own flesh and blood. It is not her fault. There's no foresight in the world that could let you know what someone else is going to do and if they have terrible intentions to their own child.
I just hope that this new trophy wife situation teaches young girls to stop pedestalizing these kinds of relationships and these kinds of men. Yeah, you might find yourself in a situation that you literally cannot escape from because of a financial power dynamic. And I don't understand why that is not the central conversation when it comes to these femininity coaches, because that's what she was. She was a femininity coach. She was a divine, become your ultimate woman was her tagline. And this is what women go through. This is the thing that I don't understand. It's so ironic and it's so cathartic. This is really what women go through. This is becoming an ultimate woman. One of the pillars of the suffering that women face is sexual violence to our children. 2-hour children. So what I'm confused about, right, is why people are still lending credence to this like femininity coach kind of like space. Stop pedestalizing these kinds of men and stop pedestalizing these kinds of relationships. It's just gonna hurt us. There's nothing we benefit from this.
We need to talk about the new trophy wife. Not to be confused with your favorite trophy wife. They're two different creators, so please don't mix them up, because I feel really bad for your favorite trophy wife and her husband, given the allegations that have come out. I just did a video talking about, why women want provider men. So I think it's important to address this, because I'm seeing a lot of people commenting on this situation as if this is like an aha moment. This is why you don't want to marry for money. So for those who don't know, the new trophy wife has recently come out in a YouTube video saying that she's discovered a few weeks ago that her husband was abusing their 2 young daughters. Now, I don't know yet if these children are his biological children or her children from a previous relationship. I know she did have children from a previous relationship when she met this man, but it's still unclear if these are his biological children, because I haven't had a chance to watch the whole of this YouTube video, although I will. But I've heard a few different accounts. So either way, I don't know, jury is out on that one. But the point is, she is alleging that, he has basically interfered with these 2 girls who are 2 and 4 years old. This woman has made it her whole brand, being a trophy wife, hypergamy, provider men, and basically selling women on the idea of how they can do this too. Now, I support women who want to practice sprinkle, who want to practice hypergamy, who seek out provider men. But I make content specifically warning women about the warning signs of potential abuse and how to avoid being a victim of abuse. I actually do not believe that women who engage in sprinkle, who seek out provider men, who want to date wealthy men, are actually making themselves more vulnerable to abuse.
I keep seeing like these types of comments. I'm not coming for you, but I really want to talk about this because I believe a lot of people don't realize that SA looks a lot different in a marriage. Okay. And I think when people hear it, they're thinking, oh, well, he brutally attacked her. It doesn't always look that way in a marriage. The whole world's seen what's going on in France right now with the dude who was drugging his wife for years and she didn't know, right? And there's so many other forms. It's something as simple as, and we have to remember she was young. I think she was 22 when they met and she still is young. Like, this is a young woman who didn't have a fully formed brain when all this started. So, SA in the marriage can look like a man, accidentally hitting your back door or going in your back door by accident. Like, that's SA. It can look like, you think things are going normally and out of nowhere he might start choking. He'll do something violent that you didn't consent to and that's never happened. So I can easily see how, after the fact, she's in therapy and the therapist is kind of asking her, well, did you see any red flags? And she's talking about these things. And you hear in the video, she says, things happened that I didn't like. And it's very probable that her being so young, she didn't realize these things were SA. She just thought they were, these are quirks in the bedroom that I don't like, but, we can work through it. She didn't label it as SA in her head and, in her life. But I can definitely see how going to therapy, the therapist would be like, hey, by the way, that was SA. Like, he assaulted you. And so I really want people to kind of, hold space for that. We hear the word, grape, and we think that he brutally came into the room and attacked her. It doesn't always look that way in marriage, especially, and it doesn't look like that in real life. There's so many different ways somebody can be taken advantage of in that manner. So that's all I'm saying.
Do you guys remember Trophy Wife? I was thinking the other day, like, she hasn't posted in a very long time. What I've realized is that whenever influencers just stop posting for a while, I know that something is happening in their life. Yesterday, I was just randomly on YouTube and a video from her popped up. I was like, I didn't even know she had a YouTube channel. And the title of the video is I Married a Monster. Me looking at that title, I was like, here we go. But I was thinking that it was maybe cheating, manipulation, being possessive or, I don't know, abusive. But it's not even that. It's worse than that. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to anyone. She's got 2 girls, a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old. And she was saying in the video that her husband touched her daughters, these little babies. And she's not just saying it out of the blue. She actually had this checked at the hospital and it was confirmed. I was just watching that video, guys. Honestly, I got emotional because she looks so broken. She is in pain. I would never wish this even to my worst enemy. And another thing that really made me sad for her is the fact that she also said that the exact thing happened to her when she was younger, and she always prayed to God that it should never happen to her kids. But unfortunately for her, it did. And it did by her husband, somebody she trusted. It's sad.
The trophy wife lore continues, and I was wrong. Apparently, she did have her own bag before she met that man, and she was doing really well for herself, like $90K a year. Apparently, she was letting a bunch of men meet her children, the 2 boys she had from her previous relationship, and she met this man on eHarmony, and I'm hearing that she's the one that proposed to him, and she bought him a ring first. Now, apparently, Shera's responded, and y'all know she never responds to any of the drama, but I guess this was just too much to ignore, and y'all, it's just a hot ass mess, y'all. I don't even know.
Now, after a video has gone viral, people remembered that she used to talk about how Shera has influenced her and what she has taught her.
All right, ladies, so one thing that I've learned from Shera 7 of all the years I've watched her, the most important thing is emotional control. If you can't control your emotions, you can't control your man. And being able to control your man is how you get what you want.
So I guess people started tagging and mentioning Shera's name and saying she's part of the reason why ISIS was involved in this kind of situation. And Shera had things to say about people mentioning her name.
If anybody marries somebody after 1 week, they dumb. I'm sorry. Sprinkle, sprinkle. If you dumb enough to do that, I'm sorry for you. I can't deal with dumb people. I mean, smart people, they know better. Dumb people, desperate people will do anything. Get money, be smart, have options. That's what I always tell people. If you dumb, I can't help you. There ain't no way anybody can help you if you stupid. She said she learned from me. Well, she didn't learn how to be smart. I tell people all the time, don't say my name if you are desperate and being pygmisha. Don't claim me. If you are desperate and you're not smart enough to get the bag, flip the money, have options. If you stupid, don't claim me. If your IQ is low, please don't claim me. I teach women to be smart, not desperate. If you're desperate, don't claim me. I'm sorry. But if you're sitting out there, you learned everything from me. Did you learn how to be smart? Did you learn how not to be desperate? Then you didn't learn from me. You learned from whoever putting clips out on TikTok 30 seconds long. You didn't learn from me. Sprinkle, sprinkle. Did you learn from this channel or did you learn from 30-second clips on TikTok? Because I didn't put those out. You didn't learn from the YouTube channel? Did you learn over here? Did you learn what I said after 30 seconds? Did you hear what I said after sprinkle, sprinkle? Or before? Did you hear that? Did you hear when I said stop being desperate? Did you hear when I said don't be a pygmisha? Did you hear when I talked about background checks? Did you hear when I talked about all this other stuff? About not dealing with men if you have kids until they're old and grown enough to speak for themselves and be in school and whatnot. Did you not hear when I said all of that? Because you was not following the real account? Don't blame me. Uh-oh. Grass walker, sprinkle, sprinkle. What I said, don't be desperate, ma'am. All right. It's not funny, but you know, when people give off desperate vibes, they attract people that want to take advantage of desperate people. That's why you should never do anything desperate. I don't teach women to be desperate. I teach them to be smart and know their value.
Basically, Shera 7 was saying that people should not mention her name because she has never told anybody to be dumb. She has said that a lot of people just watch clips of her videos on TikTok or other places and don't really like watch her full long form videos where she doesn't encourage people to do some of the things that the lady did to put herself in this situation. That she has always been someone that will give tips to women on how to protect themselves, and if they have kids, more so what to do to protect their kids. Anyway, my own thoughts about this whole situation. Honestly, before this whole thing, I did not really know about the trophy wife thing. I did not even know that there were content creators, there were influencers that used to talk about the trophy wife life and how to be a trophy wife or something like that. And watching some of the videos of this trophy wife content creator influencer, I was just like, this is too much. This is too much for me. Because a lot of them are just like, oh, I have a big ring. Oh, I'm going this place. Oh, this. And to me, that was just, to me, it is unnecessary. Because I just feel like it's just for show. That's my own opinion about the videos I saw. Now, from what I've gathered, it seems like there were some red flags, but she didn't like really catch it, or she was blind to it or something. When I was watching a video, when she said that some things happened in our marriage in the first few months, that she thought she could get past it. And then I read that he raped her 4 times in the first few months. I was like, how do you get past that? But then thinking about the fact that, okay, this woman was a single mother before, she now has a rich husband that supposedly was supposed to be a Christian, and he was supposed to be someone that is providing, so probably was doing a lot of other things. She really thought she could get past it, because sometimes, unfortunately, for some people, especially some people that are religious or Christians, they might not think that husband can grape his wife. They feel like because they are married in front of God, in front of the law, the husband has a right to have relation with his wife, whether she likes it or not, because they are married. So even if she had even talked to someone, maybe a Christian counselor or something, they might have made her feel like there's nothing wrong with that. This is me just being honest. It's just take someone else that is not, that is a Christian too, but says that this is wrong, that will point it out that this is wrong, but they might not be able to do anything. But I feel like that was the first red flag in the marriage, that was the first more than red flag in the marriage that should have made her leave that marriage. This is my honest opinion. It might not be what people want to hear, but for someone that might be in that situation or might end up in that situation, I think it needs to be said. Now, I am not even blaming her. I'm just saying this for someone else to know that that is the first major red flag that you need to dip and go. Now, the guy is an animal, he's trash, he's supposed to be locked in jail and the key thrown away. He should stay there for the rest of his life, because after raping your wife in your marriage, that was not enough. You had to go and essay your own flesh and blood. That's what is mind-blowing to me. Like his own flesh and blood. How? Or does he think that those children were not his own? Because some people were like, oh, he's their stepdad. No, those kids were his own flesh and blood. The man is supposed to protect his daughters, and now he's the one doing that to his daughter. Like, how? You are the protector of your kids, your daughter. If you see some men with their daughters, like they don't used to take any rubbish. That was what it was supposed to be. And he now went and is the one that harmed them. You cannot even blame the wife in this case, because how was she supposed to know that he would do it to his own flesh and blood? Even though him raping her was a major sign that that guy is not normal. But to reach the extent of you touching your 2-year-old and 4-year-old, that's mental. Honestly, they need to check his mental health, because that person is a psycho and is supposed to be locked up in maximum prison. It's just unfortunate. If it's some countries and they found out, they would have dragged him and dealt with him very, very well before they handed him over to the police. I don't even know if it's with the police. I don't know if he has been arrested. I don't know anything, because that man must not be walking free, because it's just a disaster. Now, like I said, for anybody that might be in this situation, once that raping has occurred, please don't wait for it to be 4 times. Once, pack your load. Because I know right now, she will be thinking that if I had left when this man raped me and not thought of moving past it, at least I would not have given birth to these children and he would not have touched them. I'm sure that's what she's thinking of. Because she was saying in her video that she had prayed to God that her children will never experience something like this, because she experienced something like that when she was growing up. That's why she has been very particular about her kids, that she doesn't want her kids sitting on anybody's lap or going with anybody, because she was essayed by her neighbor's husband when she was younger. So she really was praying that our daughters will never have this kind of experience, and that's why she was really particular about them with other people, but she did not think it would be their own father. Now, in the video, you would be hearing like noise behind. People called it wind chimes or something like that. I think she put something on her daughter's door so that if anybody enters, she would know. And it's sad that she has to do that, but she was even talking about the fact that when she was sleeping was when he was doing some things, and she did not know that her sleeping was exposing her children to harm. But I can't blame her. How would you think the father of your children would do that to you, his own children? Anyway, this whole situation is very, very sad. I'm just praying for our mental health. I'm praying for the kids. I'm just hoping that the journey to healing will be long, but I pray that they will be able to heal completely and be able to move forward. And I hope and pray again that that man gets maximum time in jail. Anyway, I don't know what you guys think about this whole sad story. I would love to hear your thoughts about everything that has occurred. So please leave your comment in the comment section so that we can get this discussion popping. Now, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not yet subscribed and you like videos such as this, please consider subscribing by clicking on the red button that says subscribe. And don't forget to click on the bell notification icon by the side so that you're notified anytime I upload videos. Now, with all that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.